Hello everybody! Welcome. Here we are in our interview series with Kevin as he's making his way through trucking school to get his CDL, that means commercial driver's license. So today is day 4 of week 3. How was school today, Kevin?
School was just fine today. Got to move a truck, uncouple a trailer and park the tractor, and then doing the inspection, and then I managed to get my name at the top of the list for doing maneuvers on the range. So
Top of the list?
yeah, first of the list. So it was actually still dark outside when I did my maneuvers this morning.
Wow.
And then going through the list, nobody went for a ride this morning. The trucks just sat there that they would use to go out. After lunch, 3 people got to go for a ride, so that was something.
Did they ask Dan again?
Nope, they didn't ask Dan today.
Did they ask you?
Nope, they didn't ask me.
Aww.
And then after lunch, we still had like 6 names to go on the list. Lunch is 9:30 to 10.
Yeah.
And then about a little after 11, I got my second turn, so that's when we started the list over again. And so both of my practices were the reverse offset move, and then you go straight back, set up, and do your parallel parking to the right. It's another offset maneuver to the right. So I did those 2 in the morning, and then in the after lunch I did the same 2 moves again. They weren't perfect, but the instructor was sitting on a chair. Nobody was telling me do this or do that. I had it in my head what to do next. I was able to correct, the truck was a little crooked. I was able to correct myself and get it in the box. The final result, like once you've got it in position and everything's inside and you honk your horn and say that's it, the truck's not perfectly lined up and straight and everything exactly how I'd want it, but I'm in. I would have lost no points today on either of those tries, so I would have passed.
Nice.
So that's good to know. I'm pretty much ready for that part in my vehicle inspection routine. I've got it down pat. I went through it today twice from start to finish, and to my knowledge I didn't miss a thing.
That's awesome.
So that's the first 2 parts, and then the next part is the driving. Like when the exam that I'm going to get next week, you do the vehicle inspection with a guy watching you, and you have to remember every single word. And then you do the maneuvers in the yard, backing, offset, straight back, and then parallel park. So a couple more, practice tries at that, and I should be all right. And
part of the test is also taking you actually out on the road.
That's
right?
the third part, is your road test. So you're going to go out and drive the streets and cross railroad tracks and look at signs, and there'll be stoplights and stop signs and right turns and left turns, and you'll be on the highway, come shooting back. So that's the part I haven't gotten much practice at. So tomorrow's Friday. I talked to the head instructor today, and he said you can schedule your exam after you've completed 140 hours, which will be Wednesday of next week. So Tuesday I can go to him and book my exam for Wednesday. So hopefully in the next 3 days of class I'll get enough practice time on the road. It's hard, and I think one of the instructors didn't show up today. That's why nobody went out this morning. Usually there's 2 trucks going out. And this afternoon, there was one instructor who took 1 truck out. So I don't know why he didn't take anybody out in the morning. There were people doing their exam today. So that was going on. And I asked the head instructor when we do our hazmat, or when we do our endorsement tests, you got to go down to motor vehicles and
Can you explain endorsements, please, for people who
so
might not know
if you have your driver's license and you want to drive a particular type of load, you want to take something like hazardous materials, you need a special endorsement. So that means you have to study, you have to write a test that says you know how to identify and how to label your truck and how to load the truck, how to transport and how to unload. You should be able to recognize these materials from the weigh bills that you get, and then know what to do. So there is a test for that down at Motor Vehicles.
So that would be the hazmat.
That's the
What are some
hazmat.
other endorsements?
The other endorsement you can get is doubles and triples. So if you're pulling 2 trailers or even 3 trailers, there's stuff to study about how to connect them, how to inspect them, how to safely drive them. And so there's a test for that at Motor Vehicles. And the third endorsement you can get is for tankers. If you're hauling like water or gasoline or something in one of those big tanker trucks, there's stuff to study on that, on how to, how to load it, how to check it, how to handle it safely, how to drive it safely, and you can write a test for that. And there's no reason not to do it, not to do those and get those endorsements on your license. I'm just going to start out with dry vans, so I won't need any of those endorsements, but who knows where I'll be in 6 months or a year or 2 years.
Right.
And
I think some companies actually pay you a little extra if you have those endorsements on your license.
if you are hauling that, where you need those endorsements, yeah, you'll be in a niche where the pay is a little bit higher. If you're hauling gasoline in a big tanker, those guys make good money. There's hazards too.
Right.
So that would include 2 endorsements: the hazmat, because it's gasoline, and the tanker endorsement, because you're hauling it in a tanker trailer.
But I did read that there were actually companies, even if you were not driving that particular thing, my understanding was you still made a little bit more just for having the endorsement, even if you weren't driving that particular load. I might be mistaken. Hey, if you guys check that out, comment below, tell me if I read that correctly, if you see it anywhere, and maybe I'll go back and look for that again. I don't remember which company it was, but I thought I saw it. Doesn't mean I did.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a good idea to be prepared, because like Kevin says, you never know, right? You might be working at a company and then they'll be like, hey, we have an opening over here for driving this tanker, or and that could even be things like milk. It could be gases,
water.
but it could be water, anything like that. So it's a good idea to get the endorsements right away. All right, so what did they say about that?
So they said best to write those when you go get your actual driver's license. So I'll be tested next week, and if I pass the test, I'll get some documents from the school, and I have to go down to Motor Vehicles Department, hand them the documents, and they will start the process to issue me my actual driver's license, CDL Class A. And while I'm there doing that, I can ask to write the endorsements and get it done then. So when I get the actual, like the driver's license, it'll take a week or 2 to actually come in the mail. It'll have the endorsements on there if I pass. The only one that might not is the hazmat, because before you can actually get that endorsement, you have to go through background check to make sure you're not a lunatic or a terrorist or somebody who will take these dangerous, hazardous materials and use them for destructive purposes. So I have to go on Monday to get fingerprinted, and Homeland Security is going to check my background, which could take a few weeks. So at least I'll have that process started, and I'll write the endorsement tests during the week, and then when the background check comes in, I'll have that hazmat endorsement too.
But then that means that it would not yet be on your license next week.
Then you'll get another one.
Then you'll get another license. Oh my gosh, you're going to have a whole collection of licenses.
Sure.
The Museum of Kevin Sloan's licenses.
Paper the walls in the RV with driver's licenses.
Wonderful.
Sure.
Wonderful. That'll be a nice redecorating.
So I made that appointment in our school. The charge for getting your background check is $86, and the school will pay for that. So it's included in my tuition.
Nice.
Well, that's very nice. They also paid for my permit exam
and your physical,
and my
right?
DOT medical exam.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was nice of them.
All included. Very nice.
And that's what happened today.
That's it?
Yeah.
Nothing interesting and out of the ordinary?
No, another day on the range. I did overhear a guy came in early for the afternoon class, like the evening class, and he was talking to a buddy on our group, and so I was walking by, and he's like, "Hey man, I haven't seen you in a while." Blah blah. Yeah, I'm doing the evening classes. oh, how's that going? You know, oh, we get to do maneuvers like 5, maybe 6 times in our shift. So yeah, there's not as many people on their list, so they get on the trucks more often.
Well, that just shows you the early bird doesn't always get the worm.
Yeah.
If you're willing to stay up until 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Rather than getting up and being in class at 5:30. So if I were at school right now, I'd be getting lots of turns at the wheel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of them would be in the
funny.
dark too. The sun's going down around 6 o'clock, so for
Okay.
5 hours you'd be practicing in the dark, which is a good experience too, I guess. They have lights on the parking lot where we practice. So.
Okay, I just have to say it again. Early bird doesn't always get the worm.
Yeah, but I get a lot of sunshine. I'm really working on my tan sitting in that parking lot day after day.
Early bird gets the tan. Early bird gets vitamin D.
There you go.
Nice. Hey, so since I see you opening your shirt there a little bit, that reminds me of your tattoo, which I see you have an external a sample of what your tattoo looks like. I don't think you need to show people your chest. Oh my gosh, he did. Okay, there's his tattoo, and there it is on the shirt. Would you like to explain why you have a leaf on your chest?
This is the leaf from the Bodhi tree. This is the Ficus religiosa. The oldest documented tree in the world is in India, and it is the tree that Buddha was sitting under like 2,600 years ago when he became enlightened, and then it became sort of an object of pilgrimage for Buddhists.
Right,
so
and
the
they
same,
still have
the same
the
tree
actual tree or offspring from that tree?
It actually, the pilgrims killed the original tree with offerings of milk and honey, and it kind of rotted, but the monks had already taken cuttings and planted another tree in the same spot from the same.
Okay, don't put milk and honey
DNA.
on your trees, people.
Yeah, and
that's not
that
a good
tree is still there.
Good advice. And why is that of interest?
That is the logo for our landscaping company that we had in St. Croix. We called it Bodhi Landscaping after the Bodhi tree, and so that was our successful venture together, and I'm so proud of that. I had it stuck on my chest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, and the hat, I wanted to mention the hat.
Where'd this hat come from?
Yeah, where'd that hat come from?
That came from Uncle Alan. It's a gift to us. Uncle Alan in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Yeah, so thank you, Uncle Alan. Kevin loves the hat.
Really appreciate the hat.
It looks good on Kevin. Okay, I guess that's all we have today. So thanks for joining us. And we hope you got some good information out of the video. And remember, please like the video and comment below, and please subscribe. That's it from Kevin and Tanya with love. Bye.